What if everything you believe about yourself was never yours to begin with? What if your limitations were taught, not discovered, ingrained into your subconscious by repetition, culture, and fear? For too long, you've been conditioned to see yourself as a fragment, a disconnected observer in a chaotic world, powerless against the tide of fate. But here's the truth that was buried beneath centuries of dogma. You were born with codes, energetic, vibrational, and spiritual codes, that, when activated, reconnect you with the infinite intelligence of the universe. The illusion is that you are small. The reality is that you are vast, boundless, and deeply connected to everything. From your first breath, you inherited not only DNA from your ancestors, but also their fears, their beliefs, and their stories. These live within you, wrapped tightly around the truth of who you are, like invisible chains. But you don't have to remain in that prison. Ask yourself, who defined your limits? Who taught you what was possible or impossible? And why did you believe them? Every belief you carry is like a key or a lock. Some open you, others trap you. Most were given to you before you even knew you had a choice. Now imagine peeling away those layers, cultural myths, outdated religious constructs, educational programming, and finding, at the core, not a blank slate, but a glowing ember, a consciousness that remembers, a voice whispering, "You are more than this." The ancient Egyptians spoke of the Ka, your energetic double, and the Ba, your soul's personality. Elements of the self that modern society has dismissed as poetic myth. But what if these symbols weren't metaphors but literal aspects of your spiritual anatomy? When you were a child, you could feel energy before you understood it. A room that felt heavy, a person who made your skin crawl, a place that radiated peace. That sensitivity was not imagination, it was the natural intelligence of your subtle body in action. Over time, you were taught to numb it. Be realistic. Don't be so sensitive. That's just your imagination. So you shut down, you tuned out, you complied. But deep inside, that intuitive compass never stopped spinning. That inner knowing, the one you often ignore, has always been waiting for your return. The reason you feel stuck, lost, or disconnected isn't because you're broken. It's because you're operating on a software of disempowerment. A programming that tells you to seek approval, to conform, to wait for permission. But your soul was never meant to beg for entry into the temple of power. You are the temple. You are the place where spirit and form meet. Break the trance. Dismantle the hypnosis of not enough. What if the pain you carry is just energy trying to awaken you? What if the anxiety is a sign your inner world is misaligned with your outer reality? Let's make this clear. You are not a passive character in someone else's script. You are the author. You always were. So today, in this very moment, start to ask different questions. Not what's wrong with me, but what dormant force lies within me. This isn't self-help fluff. This is remembrance, a sacred rebellion. You were not born to obey. You were born to awaken. Now that the veil has been lifted, you must begin to see your body not merely as flesh and bone, but as a divine map. A living, breathing instrument designed for energetic intelligence. Your spiritual anatomy is not some abstract myth. It is encoded into your nervous system, your breath, your pulse. You are not separate from the universe. You are a microcosmic reflection of it. Ancient civilizations understood this truth deeply. The yogic sages of India charted energy centers called chakras, each one a gatekeeper to higher awareness. The Greeks believed in the harmony of the cosmos, inner and outer balance reflected through the body's alignment. The Egyptians taught that the spine was the ladder to the heavens, the Jed pillar symbolizing strength, spiritual integrity, and resurrection. So why have we forgotten? Why has modern life reduced the body to a biological machine, ignoring the orchestra of energy that flows through it? Because an empowered soul, anchored in an awakened body, cannot be controlled. Your body holds sacred sites, vortices of frequency. Your heart is not just a pump, but a magnetic field generator. Your gut is not just for digestion, but a center of instinctual wisdom. And your pineal gland? It is your inner eye, your cosmic antenna, calcified by fluoride, dulled by stress, yet still waiting to be reawakened. Close your eyes now. Breathe. Sense your own field. Can you feel the tingling in your palms? That's energy. Can you hear the pulse in your ears? That's rhythm. Can you sense the spaciousness behind your thoughts? That's presence. Your body is not silent. It is always communicating. But you must learn its language. And what is this language? Sensation, emotion, vibration. When you feel heaviness in your chest, it's not just sadness, it's a message. When your shoulders tighten, it's not just stress, it's armor. Your body is both archive and oracle, carrying the memory of everything you've survived and the blueprint of what you are becoming. This is why breathwork, yoga, tai chi, dance, and even silence are sacred. They aren't just self-care routines. They are rituals. They align your inner circuitry. They awaken forgotten pathways. Every posture you take, every breath you draw, every sound you utter carries frequency. You are broadcasting constantly. But here's the most vital truth. You are also receiving. Your body is a living antenna, attuned to more than just the visible world. You've felt it, standing near someone and suddenly sensing their mood without a word. You've walked into places and felt peace or dread. These are not coincidences. They are validations. There are codes within you, dormant not because they are broken, but because they await activation. And what activates them? Intention, awareness, ritual, and above all, embodiment. Do not seek escape from your body. Return to it, not as a prisoner, but as a sovereign. Every ache, every sensation is a signal. Every whisper in your spine, a message from the universe. The ancients built temples aligned to the stars. You too are such a temple. You hold constellations in your breath, galaxies in your blood. This is not metaphor. This is memory. When you begin to live from this awareness, you no longer treat healing as fixing. You treat it as remembering. You don't need to be saved. You need to remember how to feel, how to listen, how to speak the sacred language of your own body. So I ask you again, will you continue to numb or will you begin to notice? You felt the truth in your body. Now let's step into the science. Not the cold clinical science you were taught in school, but the cutting-edge revelations of consciousness and energy that are breaking through the cracks of mainstream thought. Quantum physics has shown us that everything is energy. Matter is not solid, it is vibrating potential. Your body, your thoughts, your emotions, vibrations, each one broadcasting into the quantum field, influencing the very fabric of your reality. This isn't mysticism dressed up as science. It's science finally catching up to mysticism. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, and Bruce Lipton are among the pioneers who have spoken out. The heart has its own intelligence. The brain rewires through thought alone, and belief shapes biology. Let that sink in. Your beliefs alter your biology. That is power. Studies in epigenetics reveal that your genes are not your destiny. They are switches, turned on or off by environment, emotion, and intention. The field around your cells, the energy you bathe them in, decides how they behave. So when you think a thought like, "I'm not worthy," your body listens. Your cells contract. Your immune system weakens. Your brain reroutes. When you say, "I am light, I am love, I am truth," the same system responds, but in expansion, in alignment. Every thought is a frequency. Every emotion is a vibration. You are not just reacting to life, you are creating it. The HeartMath Institute has measured the magnetic field of the human heart. It extends several feet beyond your body and influences others around you. Your heart doesn't just pump blood. It sets the tone for your electromagnetic presence. And when you're coherent, heart and mind in harmony, your entire system stabilizes. You've known this without knowing it. Think of the times you've just felt that someone was lying, or when a room just felt off. Your energetic field was picking up the signal. Think now about sacred geometry, the repeating patterns in nature, the Fibonacci sequence in shells, flowers, galaxies. These are not coincidences. These are codes, architecture of consciousness itself. Your DNA holds similar geometry. Your body is a fractal of the cosmos. You are not a static machine. You are a living waveform, constantly oscillating between frequencies of fear and frequencies of love. You've been trained to live in beta waves, overthinking, surviving. But your natural state is flow, theta, delta, alpha, intuition, vision. And what does this mean for your life? That your thoughts matter, your words matter, your vibration matters. You're not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop, and your drop can ripple outward, affecting everything. So ask yourself, what signal am I sending out right now? What reality am I broadcasting with my energy? Your body is the transmitter. Your consciousness is the message. To change your life, you don't just change your habits, you change your frequency. This is why affirmations work, not because they are magic words, but because they train the brain recalibrate the nervous system, and reorient the field. Repetition is not redundancy, it is programming. So begin speaking differently. Begin feeling differently. Walk into a room and radiate love, not because it's polite, but because your energy is your legacy. Science has become the mystic's ally, and you, dear one, are the alchemist. The moment you believe you can create your world, you do. Now that you understand both the mystery and the mechanism, it's time to awaken what has always been waiting within you. Your spiritual anatomy is a constellation of dormant codes, each one designed to unlock a deeper truth, a higher frequency, a fuller version of your soul and form. But how do you activate them? Where do you begin? You start by returning to what is sacred, to ritual, to intention, to the still, honest space where your truth lives. First, the breath. Your breath is the most powerful, underestimated tool you have. Not just because it keeps you alive, but because it bridges the physical and the energetic. Deep, intentional breathwork doesn't just calm the nervous system. It shifts your frequency. It clears static. It invites clarity. When you inhale with reverence, you draw in life force, prana, chi, ruach, pneuma, whatever name your culture has given it. When you exhale with intention, you release old data, expired emotion, energetic residue. Second, awareness. Begin to witness yourself, not with judgment, but curiosity. Where does your energy expand? Where does it contract? Who nourishes you? Who drains you? Awareness is the light that reveals your codes. You cannot activate what you cannot see. Next comes sound. Words have power. Frequencies shape form. This is why chanting, toning, singing, and speaking affirmations in your own voice create shifts. Your cells are listening. Your subconscious is listening. Your future is listening. Then, movement. Not rigid exercise, but embodied expression. Let your body move like it remembers, because it does. Dance, flow, shake, stretch. Let the energy circulate. Stuck emotion becomes disease. Moved energy becomes freedom. And don't forget the silence. In stillness, downloads arrive, visions surface, alignment speaks. Make space for nothingness, for the void. That's where light is born. These are your tools: breath, awareness, sound, movement, silence. Each one a switch, a password, a key. But there's one more ingredient: belief. Do you believe you are worthy of alignment? Do you believe you have access to this inner technology? Because your beliefs are the gatekeepers of your reality. If you approach this work as a skeptic, only the outer form will change. But if you approach it with reverence, with surrender, with awe, transformation will follow. You've already tasted this, haven't you? That moment you lit a candle and felt something shift, that walk in nature when your heart suddenly felt open, that time you forgave someone and felt 10 pounds lighter. Those weren't coincidences. Those were activations. Every sacred act you perform sends a signal to your codes: I'm ready. So create your rituals, not out of duty, but devotion. Wake up and speak to your soul before your phone. Touch your body like it's holy. Breathe like the air is ancient. Move like your ancestors are watching. Speak like the universe is eavesdropping. You don't need a temple, you are the temple. Each day becomes a ceremony, each choice a declaration. And when doubt arises, as it will, remember this: the fact that you're questioning means you're already awakening. Sleepers don't question, seekers do. Your spiritual anatomy was never broken, just buried. Now it rises. When your inner world aligns, your outer world rearranges itself. This is not philosophy, it's energetic law. You are not here to chase, you are here to magnetize. The moment you embody coherence, the universe mirrors it. The relationships change, the opportunities appear, the healing accelerates. Not because some external force rewards you, but because you've become the frequency that matches the reality you desire. You don't manifest from the mind alone. You manifest from the field, and the field responds not to what you want, but to who you are being. That's the secret. That's the sacred responsibility. So ask yourself, what am I practicing being? Anxious, rushed, disconnected, or grateful? Present? Empowered? Every moment you are rehearsing a reality. Repetition isn't just a habit, it's a spell, and you are the magician. If you want to shift your life, shift your state, start with the small. Breathe slower, speak gentler, notice beauty. Gratitude is not just a virtue, it's an energetic lubricant. It unsticks stuck energy. It invites grace. Speak your desires into water. Bless your meals with intention. Clean your home as though it were a temple. These are not eccentric acts. They are energetic alignments. The world around you begins to rearrange the moment you no longer negotiate your light. And what about the fear? The doubt? They don't disappear. They dissolve in presence. You do not conquer your shadow by force. You hold it with compassion. You integrate it. Because wholeness is not perfection, it is acceptance. You've lived long enough thinking the external world is your master. It is not. You're the broadcast tower, and everything you attract is feedback. So practice becoming the version of you who has already arrived. What does that version believe? How do they walk, speak, rest, serve, love? Embody that. Now. Not in some distant future. Not when it's safe. Now. Reality bends to the rooted. And this isn't about control, it's about coherence. The tree does not control the wind, but it grows roots so deep no storm can shake it. The more rooted you become in your energy, the more reality begins to orbit you. Let people feel your frequency before you say a word. Let your silence be magnetic. Let your actions be prayers. This is how the new world is born, not through systems, but through frequency. Through people who remember who they are. Through you. You are the bridge between heaven and earth, between thought and form, between what was and what will be. You are not becoming this, you are this. So rise, speak your truth, walk your light. Radiate like the star you've always been. And when others ask how you changed, don't give them advice. Show them your frequency. Because you were born encoded with light, and now you remember,